Welcome back. Today's special is Leches, better known as 3 Milks cake. This is probably in my top 3 favorite desserts of all time. I learned this right out of culinary school in one of the restaurants I apprenticed in, but I'm spicing it up. So instead of actually using regular milk, I've substituted for chocolate milk, Bailey's for that kick of alcohol in there. The acidity from the oranges, we're gonna put some orange zest into it. You are in for a treat. This cake is moist, sweet, full of flavor. This will blow your mind. Let's start making it. For our cake, we have cocoa powder, icing sugar, water, oil, egg yolk, egg white, all-purpose flour, sugar, vanilla, baking powder, and salt. And then for our 3 milks that we add in after it's baked, we have condensed milk, evaporated milk, chocolate milk. That's the flavor right there. We got our Bailey's, the finest 70% chocolate. We're gonna grate that on for some flavor. And then grilled oranges. We're gonna get outside on the barbecue. We're gonna grill some fruit out there. First, we're gonna start with our egg whites and icing sugar. You wanna make sure your icing sugar is sifted so you don't have any clumps when you're mixing it. Egg whites into the bowl. We are gonna whip these till they become frothy. At that stage, then we're gonna add our icing sugar in. So, our egg whites are starting to get frothy like this. At this stage, this is where we wanna add our icing sugar in. And now we crank it up. That is perfect, just like that. A nice soft to medium peak. We're gonna put that aside. So we don't wanna just add that cocoa powder in, we wanna hydrate it with some water. We wanna break it up. I have my cocoa powder, water. We are going to bring the water to a boil on the stove, on high. When that water comes to a huge boil, like that's when we're gonna add our cocoa powder in. We're gonna whisk it to make a paste, and we're immediately going to take it off the heat. We don't wanna cook that down. We don't want that water to evaporate. It'll draw out that cocoa powder. So we want a really liquidy paste. We're gonna set that aside. We're gonna combine our wet ingredients. So our egg yolks, our oil, and our vanilla in a separate bowl. We're gonna whisk that together. Granulated white sugar. Just like that, we'll set that aside. Water is boiled. We're gonna add in our cocoa powder. We're gonna whisk that together. You can see how liquidy it is right now. That's the consistency that we're looking for. We are going to take our cocoa powder, we're gonna mix it into our egg yolk, oil, sugar mixture. Next, we're gonna take our dry. So we have our all-purpose flour, salt, baking powder. Flour's been sifted. We're gonna add that in. We're gonna add that in. Just give it a little stir with your finger. Our flour is pretty full, so now we wanna transfer this out to a bigger bowl. Now we have our base right here of our flour, egg yolk, oil mixture. Now we're gonna incorporate our egg whites. We wanna lighten this. So I like this term, I always call it, we're gonna sacrifice about 1/3 of the egg whites to soften it, lighten it, make it more fluid, and then we're gonna fold in the rest of our egg whites, just like that. And you can see this paste, the base, is starting to lighten up. Now we're gonna add the rest of our egg whites in. We're gonna fold this in. Nice and gently, because we don't want to take that air out of the egg whites. That'll give the lift and the rise in that cake. There you go. That's it, easy. I have a pre-sprayed baking dish. We're gonna put that in. We're gonna fire that in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25-30 minutes. We'll be able to test once it rises up and it's not wobbly in the middle. As this cake is baking, we're gonna start on our liquid base. We're gonna get that condensed milk into our pot. Just make sure you have a pot that is big enough to hold all these wet ingredients. Evaporated milk, chocolate milk, low heat. We just want it warm. We don't need it hot. As that's going, let's slice up our oranges. Just a nice, juicy orange, doesn't matter what you use. Perfect. We're gonna take these and we're going outside. We're just gonna give them a quick grill. We're gonna give them the lines. It'll add that color. It'll caramelize the sugars in the orange. It'll add for extra flavor when you bite into this. This makes baking fun because you know what, it is tedious. You gotta measure everything and it just makes it more exciting. And you know, when you do stuff like this, if you're having a dinner party, your friends over, or even with your kids, you know, it's that wow factor. And I love the wow factor when you bake. Let's cut these up. This will be the garnish for the top of the tres leches. See you back inside. Cake is out, it's done. Our liquid is nice and warm. So we just don't want to pour the liquid right on top. I have my poker, and all you want to do is just poke around the cake, just like that. And this just allows the liquid to seep right into the cake right away and then just soak up all that moisture. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna start from the top and just let it pour in. Kind of looks like a pool right now. That liquid will soak into that cake and then you won't have a pool of any of the 3 milks on top. So give this about half an hour, allow it to just soak in. In the meantime, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna make a chocolate Bailey's martini. Why not? It's a nice day out, a little crisp, but you know, we got Bailey's in here. Let's make a Bailey's chocolate cocktail. Don't know why, but at the end of the day, a martini kind of just calms the stress, relaxes you after a hard day work, and gives you a great night's sleep. Let's get started. So ice in a teaspoon of this chocolate sauce. Okay, maybe a little more. Bailey's. Chocolate liqueur. Vodka. And then we're gonna shake that up. So we're gonna pour that in. We're gonna grate some chocolate in there. So there you have it, your chocolate Bailey's shaken martini. Yeah, wow. So I have my grilled oranges. I have the cake. I flipped it outside of the pan so it's nice and flat surface. I've whipped some cream up, no icing sugar. We don't want it sweet. This is a really sweet cake. So we're gonna cut up our oranges. We have some 70% chocolate we're gonna grate it on. We're just gonna place that right on top like that. And we're just gonna gently cover the whole cake. I'm gonna take my 70% chocolate and just gonna grate that on. Good. You can use as much chocolate as you want. It doesn't matter, whatever you like. The orange I cut, save half of it. We're gonna use that rind. We're gonna grate that on. Good. And then we're gonna decorate with our grilled orange. So get creative. Throw all that on there like that. Done. There you have it. So, a Bailey infused grilled orange chocolate tres leches cake. That was good. My kids will love this. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit the link, subscribe for more recipes and fantastic episodes. We'll see you later.